All right, right now the NTSB investigating a shocking scare at one of America's busiest airports. Yesterday, this all happened after a plane full of passengers hit a truck and a pole on a New Jersey highway while trying to land at Newark. Footage shows it very close to the ground before clipping a bakery truck. The truck company confirming the driver was hospitalized with minor injuries from broken glass. A new audio reveals how Newark air traffic controllers responded.
Did you get a report for what the issue was?
I got different conflictions on the turnpike.
Yeah, they felt something over the threshold, and there's a hole in the side of the airplane. So I'm going to get you on the runway here in a moment. They said it was right at the threshold, so it'll just be a minute.
Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy joins us now. We thought we were just going to be talking about Spirit Airlines. Then this happens yesterday. How does this happen?
So, listen, this is a well-trained pilot. Again, you fly that route coming in from Italy. These are good pilots. We don't quite know yet what happened. And again, did the pilot hit the truck? Did he hit the light pole and debris from the light pole?
Either way.
So the NTSB is coming up today. The FAA is going to be there today as well. And we don't want to get ahead of the facts. And oftentimes the first facts are wrong. But obviously there was issues with a couple of vehicles on the roadway. And what could have happened is there was gusty winds yesterday. And again, I don't want to speculate, but I guess I will right now with you for a moment. If the plane was too low and he flared up, that tail will come down. So we'll have more information in the next days, but an initial report will come out from the NTSB in the next 30 days. But this should obviously, without saying, this shouldn't happen.
Right. But the fact is it worthy to go to the air traffic controllers, talk to pilots and say, yeah, I get scared about this in the past. This has always worried me. Or do you see this just a one-off?
Well, what we do with any incident like this, whether they're big or small, we do a full-scale review. And the reason our aviation sector is so safe is there's lessons learned from every incident. And from those incidents, we take action. We reform how we do things, which is why we have the safest skies in the world here in the United States of America.
So let's talk about something that's bad all around, and that is that Spirit Airlines is no longer going to be flying.
Yeah.
Thousands of people are out of work, including pilots and flight attendants and everybody involved. How did we get here to the point, Mr. Secretary, where we have an airline that a lot of people count on go belly up?
So I believe that markets are they work, right? And so there was a proposed merger between JetBlue and Spirit Airlines in 2022. The last administration, Pete Buttigieg, Joe Biden said, you know what? We want competition. We're not going to allow this merger to happen. And because of that, right after, Spirit filed for bankruptcy. And then last year they filed for bankruptcy a second time. They were bleeding money. They were bleeding market share. It would have made JetBlue stronger. You would have had one stronger airline as opposed to one airline going out of business. And so the story was written years ago. And again, the president did a great job trying to see, is there a pathway where we can bail this out? Does it make sense to keep this airline afloat? We don't have $500 million laying around to bail out an airline. But in the end, what I love about this story is that you didn't see the other airlines try to gouge passengers. You haven't seen chaos in airports. President Trump has thought through how this should be navigated. I reached out to the CEOs. You had all the big carriers offer discount tickets to passengers to get to their destinations. They offered jump seats and open seats to the crews,
which is amazing.
Airlines.
But I would add this: did any of these airlines, or did you reapproach JetBlue about maybe trying to do this deal again, or because they got beat down once, they're not going to try it again?
I called them all. I talked to all the CEOs. And the problem is there was nothing left. Like their airplanes were leased. I mean, there was really not a lot of value left. It had been leveraged so far, there was nothing left to buy.
Wow, and you didn't think the government buying it is a good precedent?
Well, I didn't. You know, sometimes the government has to step in, right? And we have. I didn't think this was a good idea. But again, I'm just one voice of many, and the president, who does deals so well, wanted to take a hard look at it.
Because he's worried about the people, when the thousands of people are now out of a job.
So he cares the most about the employees. He was like, I don't want to lose, 7,000 employees and adjacent employees up to 14,000. So he wanted to really think through it. But here's the aviation sector is hiring. and these routes are going to be covered by other airlines. So what a lot of the carriers are doing is letting the Spirit employees jump the queue to get into the front of the line to get hired in.
It might be an opportunity for an airline like Frontier, who has a very similar business philosophy. But listen to Neera Tanden, going back to when the merger was offered. She said, given the news today that Spirit Airlines is shuttering and thousands of people are losing their jobs, I think we should honestly assess whether the Garland DOJ stopping the JetBlue merger with Spirit Airlines was the right call. Perhaps it was, but any analysis must consider it as part of the equation of the loss to so many families to decide. Perhaps it was. No, history has now said it was the wrong decision. The DOJ should not have pursued litigation against the merger. And again, you wouldn't have what's unfolded today. How about this follow-up question? But wait, at the time, Pete Buttigieg was celebrating the fact that the merger didn't go through. Elizabeth Warren also celebrating the fact that that merger didn't go through. In fact, we have the tape from the archives. The day is March 7th, 2023.
The Department of Transportation has generally not gotten involved in these merger cases, but that's changing today. It is so important to make sure that passengers have choices, that they have access to low fares, that they have access to competition.
So now they have no choice. But, you know, I agree with him in the sense that we do want choices. We do want competition. That gives us the best price as consumers. But he made the wrong call. Right. If he had taken a deep dive into Spirit and to JetBlue, he would have seen that merger would have been better for customers. And he still said no to it. And again, the ideology of the last administration was driving all these decisions, whether it's not allowing this merger, whether it's driving DEI into air traffic control and into aviation. It was ideology as opposed to what is a smart, safe, right thing to do. And real quick, Mr. Secretary, Elizabeth Warren came out and said she was against the merger. Then she came out and says, I blame the Iran war for the fact that Spirit Airlines went belly up. So to be really clear, jet fuel prices have gone up. This story was not written because of the Iran war. This story was written years ago because of what Elizabeth Warren, Joe Biden, Pete Buttigieg, and the DOJ under Biden, what they did to prevent the merger from happening. So, again, I love that they try to play revisionist politics. They try to come after Donald Trump again. What do they want, a nuclear Iran? They're blaming fuel prices, but you and I both know that Democrats love higher energy prices. They fought for 4 years to give us higher energy prices. Look at California, $5, $6, $7, $8 a gallon, and now they're trying to blame Trump, who wanted American energy dominance. Right. Again, there's the insanity of Democrats. They cut a deal with the devil with Maduro to keep prices down and did Venezuelan oil, and then they drained the strategic oil reserve in order to get prices down for the midterm elections, and then they went right back up. And, Mr. Secretary, one question, I never did mergers for a living, I give you that, but I would just ask, why was Spirit doing the deal? They were doing it not to be stronger, to save themselves. To survive. So to survive. That's different than limiting people's options. It was called, I'd like my airline to survive, so I'm going to go to JetBlue. So it's like you married your wife so you could survive. Yes, it was the same thing. It was a marriage made in heaven. It all comes back to my relationship. Comes to sometimes you have to do these mergers. You have to do these deals to make two airlines stronger than they would be separate. Again, now history, one more time, judges the Biden-Buttigieg administration poorly. All right, Mr. Secretary, it was great to see you. Thanks for braving traffic to be here.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.